Well, hello, beautiful people. What's going on? It's yours truly again, Miss Cat Rio, the girl with nine lives. And this right here is the latest video for my motherfucking love. So, yes, what's going on? Okay, so I haven't talked to you guys since my last video, duh. And I left off with the prince, the toad, and Toot. First day with my new mouth again. Okay, addressing the last video that I made titled, God, I cannot talk today. I can't talk any day. What makes me think that today is going to be any different? So the last video that I made, titled From a Toad to a Prince, thank you. Wow. That was a fun video to make because of the feelings that you get when you meet somebody new and you have this attraction and they're attracted back and it's like all new and everything's fabulous. And then harsh reality comes crashing in to balance out the universe by making the most horrible shit happen to you right after you had the best time of your life. That describes my life to a T. You see, ladies and gentlemen, right after I made that video, the following day to be exact, I got hit by yet a fifth car. Yay! Another broken foot. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, after leaving my client's house, who lives just a few blocks away from my house, as I exited Holiday Park onto 14th Street, this fucking dick douche who was going about 20 miles an hour decided that he was not going to stop at the stop sign and at full speed ran into me. And your chances of becoming roadkill are substantially higher because people in South Florida drive like fucking assholes and they have no regard for human life. They have no regard for pedestrians' rights, bicyclists, people on scooters or skateboards or roller skates. No. They feel that if you get in front of them, how fucking dare you? And they're gonna show you who's boss with their 1-ton car and either try to scare you or try to run over you because there's a shit ton of sociopaths all over the world, especially in South Florida because of the sunshine. I don't know what to tell you, but I know plenty of people, at least 20, that have told me that they've got hit by cars on various different sources of transportation, on foot, on bike, on scooters. I have heard it all. People in South Florida, they don't like people that are outside of cars. They don't even like people. So, not to give out any information about this because I will be taking this mofo to court to sue his ass. I really can't give much information about what happened, but I will tell you this. I got a broken foot. My leg was dislocated, sprained, and I had a concussion, and yet another concussion. I'm surprised by now I don't think I'm a zebra. And my hand was also, my thumb specifically, was kind of sprained. But it all seems a lot better now. I'm actually not using the crutches today. This is the second day after I got hit by the car. Now, a lot of you may be wondering to yourselves, how does someone get hit by 5 cars? Well, that's a great question, and I have a wonderful answer for you. Just live in South Florida and walk on the sidewalk or the street. Now, the only thing I can say that I'm grateful for is the fact that I'm still alive, number one, and that I'm not a paraplegic or living as a vegetable somewhere because of severe brain damage. Because I did suffer from brain damage, but not enough to put me out, thank God. And so I have to ask myself, is it worth getting us another scooter since this one was destroyed? It would be my 6th scooter that I've owned if I buy another one. But I kind of have to right now because walking in Florida blows because it's usually like Africa heat in freaking South Florida. I mean, you'll die to try to walk any certain distance from your house. It's fucking hot and humid. Now, today's different because it's like 61 degrees and everybody's busting off the turtlenecks and shit. But for the most part, it's fucking hot as balls in Florida. You don't want to. I'm for real. Like, people that have seen me walking, because I actually like to walk. Now, I have had many occasions where I was walking just because I simply like to walk. It gets my mind off things and As long as I'm not having to go to work or anything, I don't really mind sweating. But when people see you walking, like they've seen me in the past, they be acting like, oh, she walking. She must be homeless. She ain't got no job. Listen, bitches, I own my own home and have owned my own home for the better part of 7 years. Thank you very much. I did own my car outright, also with no payments left until I totaled it, of course. But all the years that I drove it was already paid off. So I really didn't have a need to prove anything to anyone. I still like to walk and fuck what people think, right? But you put yourself at a risk here in Florida because people are fucking nuts. So long story boring, yes, I have a broken foot and I am trying to heal. I have to hobble everywhere I go. But thankfully, my Calvin has been a great source of strength for me by helping me along with getting around and helping me clean up around the apartment. He's been just a dream to have, and if you're wondering who he is, well, look at my shorts in the YouTube, look at the short videos section, and you'll see who he is. He is really a wonderful, wonderful man, and I'm glad he's in my life, because if not, I would have to do everything by myself, and that kind of fucking sucks. So, yeah, so that's what's going on there. Now, as for the Toad and the Prince guy episode, still around. I really didn't like the fact that he didn't come to see me when I broke my foot and got hit by a car. He said he was busy, and I believe him. I'm not saying I don't believe him. I'm just saying, really, are you that fucking busy that it took you 3 days to come see my ass? For real? Ugh, that kind of soured things for me. Which sucks, because I really did like him. I thought he was really cool, but I don't know, that speaks volumes for me. If people don't do simple things, like, it's the little things that matter, right? It's the giving a card to somebody that got you a really nice gift and saying thank you for that gift, you know, the thought that goes into that. And like a person that's really sick and needing you to cheer them up and support them during this difficult time in their lives, you know, or a person that got hit by a fucking car and broke their foot. It would have been really nice if you would have come and just to see how I was doing, making sure I was okay. Even though you knew that I was going through a very difficult and painful time because I didn't have anybody there for me. So then I had to think to myself, are my expectations too high? Am I giving this person a chore or a task that is too much to ask of him? And I said, yeah, perhaps I am expecting something from someone, and therefore I am feeling disappointed when that expectation is not met. And I agreed that it was probably my attitude that needed changing when I was discussing this with him. But then the next day came, and I started thinking about the situation more, and I thought, yes, I did expect something and he didn't deliver, and I let that go, but honestly, I still have these convictions, right? That I think that morally and ethically, people that claim to care about you and be close to you should demonstrate and display that type of care by showing you and giving you the attention that you need when you need it. It's like when I've had friends in the hospital. I don't want to go to a fucking hospital, especially during COVID, but I know what being in a hospital alone is like, and it's really scary and it really fucking sucks. And just to have somebody come by for 10 minutes and just visit you in the hospital, bringing you some cheesy drugstore flowers, really brightens your day, you know? And I just think that these are little social etiquettes that should be taught to everyone, and that people should be considerate enough and thoughtful enough if they really truly care about a person to exercise those things and visit people when they need your, you know, company or something. So he and I had a talk today, and we definitely came to a point where we were understanding of each other and knowing where each other were coming from, and I wasn't done with malice, but I still think, at least like on his part, I think that he could have been more thoughtful, he could have been more considerate and more concerned for someone that he professes to care about. That way I would know that in his life I was important, that I meant something, and that I was worthy of his time and efforts to go out of his way for 10 minutes to come visit me. That would have been really nice. Now, on top of that, perhaps it would have been great if I just didn't have these expectations of people, therefore not being disappointed, and therefore maintaining the friendship the way it is, organically and naturally. But I didn't do that, and that's something I need to work on, but I can admit it. And it really leaves us both with something to work at, and both something to consider. When is our expectation too much, and when is it a good time? Show somebody the extent into which you care for them, for. I did not say that right. How much you care about them. These are things that people have to decide for themselves, right? Because there's not really a handbook. I mean, I'm sure there's people you can find that will give you suggestions on when you should do these things, but you should do them when the person matters to you, when their well-being overrides your need for comfort or for easiness. Relationships take work. Showing people in your life how that you feel about them and how much you love them, and even when you have to reprimand someone and address them to correct a bad behavior because you want them in your life, but you want this behavior to stop, that shows love and concern. So, I mean, really,